Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt and welcome to New Bit Workshop. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this very simple paper dispenser for those big rolls of absorbent paper that one can buy. And it's designed so that the paper is kept dust free and yet it's easy to extract bits of it from below. But before I get into that, I want to say a few thank yous. First of all, thank you to all of my subscribers who are in the wonderful country of Ireland. And it was from there that John MaGrath made a video about the path guide system. He had to correct one or two little things, but he did a great job in the end. And I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video. And then one of my subscribers, John Cummins, wrote to me and said, "Peter, please help. I've lost one of the 3mm pins that come with the path guide system Mark II. His 2-year-old son had hidden it somewhere and they couldn't find it. He said, look, I've tried the Axminster website and they've sold out completely. What can I do?" And I was prepared to send him this very 3mm pin. And then I discovered the cost of postage was ridiculous. And so I suggested to John that he tried the Carpentry Store. Now the Carpentry Store is in Naas in County Kildare, and they stock loads of Axminster stuff, including the path guide system, of course. Anyway, John contacted them and they were able to help him out. And he now is a very happy man. He's got all his 3mm pins back again. Now, I want to thank the Carpentry Store for doing that. They stock all sorts of woodworking machinery, a lot of Axminster kit, as I said, and I think they should be a first stop shop if you want any of the path products as well. So thank you very much to everyone at the Carpentry Store. Now back to this little project. Now the other day I bought some of this workshop paper roll stuff. It was cheap and cheerful, it came from Screwfix, and I'd been using it in the workshop just for a little bit, and I noticed it was always getting a little bit of dust on top. You don't always want that. And so I thought, well, is there some way I could put this in a container so that it doesn't get dusty? And by pure chance, I've got this old plastic tub. I used to keep all sorts of rubbish in there, but I've cleaned it out a bit. And this happens to fit in almost perfectly. But if it was hung up this way, it would always be getting dirt coming in from the top. So it's better if it's that way. And then I thought, well, if it's going to be that way up, then I need to be able to draw the paper out from the inside. And so I removed the cardboard tube, which was in the center of this. It was not difficult to do. And now I can pull this out from the middle. But it needs to sit on something. And that's what I'm about to make now. Now my idea is as follows. I've got this main piece of board here, which is wide enough. In fact, it's square. It's wide enough so that this can sit on there, and there's space at the back for me to put a little rising piece here, so I can then screw the whole assembly against the wall or whatever. But then I want to contain this top. I'm going to take this metal bit off. And so I've got this leftover piece of another piece of plywood, which I will cut out so that this will fit in there and not fall off, or when you're tugging or whatever it might be. And of course then in the main base we need a hole. Now I'm going to make an oval hole, but your hole could be round if you wish. Now my thought on the shape of the hole is as follows. If it were a round hole, then I don't know what size it would be, but say about there. When the paper gets to this sort of usage, there's only this much left, then as you try and drag it out, so it'll be catching a bit. So there are two things. One is I need to make the inside of the hole that's in here curved, but maybe if the hole were oval, it would give support out here. I don't know. But anyway, I thought, well, why don't I make it oval? So I'm going to cut an oval hole in this piece, and I'm going to cut a round hole in this piece. You can use a jigsaw or a router with a template, any way that suits you to do this. So I've now stuck that cutout piece on there. I've got to cut the hole in the middle here and then round it off. Now I'm just going to round out the underside of the hole. That's the bit where one would put one hand up here and pull the paper through. This only needs a small amount of rounding over, and so I've got a small rounding over cutter in there. And ordinarily with my writer I could use this gadget which helps pick up the dust from a bearing guided cutter, but unfortunately I haven't been so very clever because of this oval cutout, and so that's not going to fit and allow the writer to go around the full circle. Now, because I'm cutting on this edge like that, I'm going to be going clockwise. And on this other side, perhaps I should have done this bit before I put this curved piece on here, but it doesn't matter. The writer will fit in, and all I've got to do is go around clockwise again. And I've got a larger cutter this time, and this is on the inside because I want a very smooth passage for the paper as it goes down through here. Notice, typical Festool, almost absolutely dust-free. So there's this piece done. I'm just going to do a little bit of detail. I want rounded corners here and here, and at the back here I want my little piece that goes up here so it can be fixed to a wall. This will be the piece that goes at the back, and I just want to have some rounded corners here. There are several ways of doing this. You could put a curved pencil line here and then use a jigsaw to go around there, or you can use your saw, cut it off at 45 degrees and then use the sander just to round it off to your satisfaction. So there that is. I'll just use a sander over these. Now this backing piece is going to go on here, and it will be a screw through here that will fix this to the wall. The paper goes here. Now, because of the weight of this, it needs to have a fairly wide support here. And so what I've done is I've got this old piece of oak. It's a leftover piece. It's going to be quite strong. And you have two ways of joining this on. You could use domino joints through here, and I would use 3 of them if I was doing that. Or, as I'm about to do, I'm going to put some screws. And I can put 3 screws, and that will be good enough with some glue. So that's those holes done. And of course the other way of doing a rounded corner on something is to use something like this as a pattern and make sure it's lined up on both sides. Draw across there, ditto here. And then we use a jigsaw to cut around there, and then a sander to finish it off. And here I have my 2 pieces. I've drilled a pair of holes in this piece. For me, I'm going to have this mounted on a vertical piece of wood in the workshop, and therefore I want 2 holes in the centre there. All I've got to do now is glue and screw this on in place, and it's then ready to go. That's all nicely lined up. By doing the middle screw first, if it's slightly out, you can do a little wiggle that way. Now, because this is going into oak, I am piloting the holes. Because these cheap and cheerful screws, which I'm using, sometimes shear when they go into something difficult. That's that. Nice and smooth. Everything's ready to mount it. And I'm going to mount this right about here so I can pull paper down when I need it. It should be out of the way of most things. I'm going to put 1 screw in at the bottom first. That's in nice and tight. I'm now just going to check for level. That's close enough for government work. Yeah, that'll do. And then put the top screw in. So that's now fixed in place. I'm happy that that's sturdy enough. I'm not going to bash myself as I walk past because there's stuff down below here which precludes me from walking all the way into it. But even so, it's got rounded corners. And now I can put my roll of paper in here. And I've already prized a little bit of it out. And then my bucket on top. I can pull bits of paper out of here with absolutely no problem at all. So many thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.